What is up, folks? Jorge Anito here. Thanks for coming over and welcome back. Guys, today we're going to take a look at the vintage Blue Seal stud playing cards. Wow, I had no idea how awesome this deck is until I actually opened it and got it in my hands. Yeah, so a lot of things to talk about, so let's get into it. So yeah, these are no longer printed. What you will find today in Walgreens stores is these right here. So they're quite a bit stiffer. They handle almost like modern smooth playing cards, which we all know anything without air cushion, emboss, or finish just handles like crap. These aren't that bad actually, but they're they're rough, okay? They're definitely rough. They actually do have air cushion, but they're just quite a bit stiffer, you know? I could never do a pillarette, but, and of course, obviously the coloring is a bit darker. The older one is lighter. But yeah, before we actually get into that, let's discuss stud playing cards. Why are these so desirable? You know, studs are produced by Walgreens drugstores and manufactured by United States Playing Card Company. And they began producing these in the early 80s. And they were an exclusive Walgreens items. Sorry guys, can't hardly get the words out. Yeah, they were exclusive only to Walgreens. In fact, today, the only place you would be able to get these would be Walgreens.com, or if you walk into your local Walgreens pharmacy, you could pick this up there in the aisle where they sell the playing cards. You could also get these from some third-party sellers on eBay, what have you. Some magic sites will sell them as well. But these are exclusive to Walgreens. What is Walgreens? It's an American-based pharmacy. And let me just say, I have a local Walgreens here. You know, I live in a small rural town here in Ohio, and we have like a Walmart. We have a couple pharmacies, right? There's not a lot here. But let me tell you what, if I ever want to go check out a really nice playing card selection, I head over to the local Walgreens, and they just have a gorgeous display. They switch them out periodically. They're mostly all bicycle. Well, actually, they are all USPCC. They've introduced some Theory 11 decks recently, Monarchs, Artisans, stuff like that, which Theory 11 are produced by USPCC as well. So, yeah, if I was to go to Walmart, there would be nowhere near the selection as Walgreens drugstore. I don't know why that is, but that's the reality. And so, you know, like I said, back in the 80s, they started producing these. These were sent to me courtesy Craig Roccanova. Big thanks once again, Craig, for doing that. I looked these up on eBay recently. No less than $50 a deck. You can get a 2-pack for roughly $100, a little over. They're highly desirable cards. And once I got these in my hands, I see why. These cards are so thin. Guys, these cards are so thin, they're actually thinner than any other modern deck I own. Let's just compare a few decks. So the Remedies, these are thin crushed premium stock. You just put these side by side. Now the Remedies are extremely thin, but if I put these side by side, you could see that, well, just one card goes over. I was getting 2 cards to go over the other day. Well, plus I also have some gaffs in here too. I have an extra king of diamonds, things like that. So they're thinner than even the Remedies, but the absolute thinnest deck that I own is either a toss-up between the blue cohorts, which is the Cartamundi Luxury E7 press stock, and the Republic number 3s, Jeremy Griffith Los Angeles edition. If I hold these side by side, well, I was getting 2 cards to pass over the other day. One of them's wanting to, but... So anyway, they're at least a card thinner, and there's actually an extra card in this deck. There's an extra Joker. We'll talk about that later. But it just blows my mind how thin these cards are, and these were produced by USPCC, the old Cincinnati, Ohio. So if I just push down on these, that's a pretty close one right there. Okay, so 2 cards passed over. Yeah, 2 cards thinner than one of the than the thinnest decks I own. That's insane. Cartamundi or USPCC, it doesn't matter. This beats them all. Now, some people don't like thin cards because they're not as durable. In fact, if I was just to hold up this cohort, you could just see how flimsy it is. I mean, it's, you know, here's the thing. These cards are thin, but they are durable. They're springy. Well, there it goes. I mean, they're snappy. They just handle insane. I've never had anything like this. They're modern cut, so they will faro from back to front. With this deck, you're going to receive not 2 identical Jokers, but 3. 3 identical Jokers. Just show you one up close right there. 3 identical Jokers. So you have in this deck the fixins to make yourself a custom wave set, which is a really awesome Max Maven effect, a great mentalism / card packet effect, with just these 3 cards and your choice of whatever court card you desire. This is going to be your Ace of Spades, and it says right on there, Walgreens, right? So, yeah, beautiful Ace of Spades. You have the stud horse just there. He has what looks like a wreath around him from possibly just winning the race. This deck is unique also because it also has the Arco design on the court faces. You can see what I'm talking about just there. This is an interesting choice that they went with. Now, some of the modern decks that go with the Arco design are Chris Brown and the line of Orbit playing cards, as well as Alex Pandrea. Some of his Crown decks have the Arco design, and it just gives it that sort of that vintage, rustic kind of feel to it in my eyes. That's what a regular ace will look like. You have that light red collar. I mean, I could go on and on about this deck. I mean, your push through false shuffles, I mean, they just strip out with such ease. It's insane. Some of these thin crushed premium press stock of today's thin USPCC cards, when you do a push through false shuffle, you'll run into sometimes an issue where they're just so tight and so thin that when you try to strip it out, you're like, you know, exerting quite a bit of effort. These, for whatever reason, they just cut right through each other. They just fall into one another, glide right through each other. It's just insane how well these handle. Of course, I'm not doing it justice right now, but I think you get the point. Super thin cards. I've never had a pack of blue seals like this. Most of my blue seals came from Craig, and they handle great. They handle unlike anything else that I own, if I'm honest. But these ones right here, by far surpass those of any other blue seal quality, and I don't know why. But I do know that that's probably the reason why they are sought after by collectors, by playing card enthusiasts, Guys, that's the vintage Blue Seal Stud playing cards by USPCC. Thanks for watching. God bless. Guys, here is a little addendum if you stuck with me to the end. So, if for some reason, well, if you can't shell out $50 for a deck of these, I know I would struggle to win that. There are a few other modern options out there that have a very close and similar feel to the stud playing cards. And I just want to suggest that to you right now. The Polyantha, Black Rose Polyantha, feels very much like this. They're super thin. You can hear it. Super thin, but just the way they handle very smooth, very similar, almost not identical, but very close. Another card, this USPCC stock. So another one, this is the Cardamundi New Slimline B9 set. I don't know, they have so many names for it. It's the Republic number 3 Los Angeles edition, Jeremy Griffiths playing cards. These handle and feel almost identical to these as well. You can get these for around $10, I think. And these, even though they're sold out, you can still find these on eBay for about $15 to $20 a deck. Guys, there you have it.